Graduation is a really big deal. Getting honors is a really big deal. How many of you have heard of National Honor Society? Of course you have. How many of you have heard of Phi Theta Kappa? Fewer, probably. Well, today I want to tell you about the Honor Society at Lewis and Clark, the recognized one, the leading national community college honor organization, and how it identifies with four pillars. The four pillars are scholarship, leadership, fellowship, and service. And today I'm going to spend a little bit of time on each of those. I am the advisor of this organization, and I have done that for about 5 years. I've taken it from a non-competitive chapter to a 5-star chapter, and I'm pretty proud of that. So today I want to tell you a little bit more about our organization so that when you see our statue that's been recently moved to the library, or you get an invitation from me, it actually comes from our international office, that you'll know a little bit more about that organization. I'm going to start with scholarship. I mean, it's an honor organization, right? And when we think of scholarship, we think of grades. And many of you wonder, do college grades really matter? Do employers even care? Well, according to Indeed.com, that place that helps you find a job, they say that grades matter only for your first job. And then employers don't always ask that. But sometimes getting that first job is your step to getting a better second job. And the salary that you start with is going to determine your next salary. So if they do help, if grades help in securing that first job, wouldn't you want to make sure that your grades are intact? So once you are worried about your grades or thinking about your grades, if you have a 3.5 GPA with 12 transferable hours, you're going to get an invitation to join this esteemed honor organization. And once you get in, there are two ways that we address scholarship once you're in. And those are through the Hallmark Award categories of an Honors in Action project and a college project. The Honors in Action project is given in a 2-year increment. It's a manual that you get that has about 8 themes. And Phi Theta Kappans can decide what they want to research more fully. And so this involves you getting into some research and then coming up with a research question that is relevant to your college campus. We try to do that project in the fall. In the spring, there's a college project. And the college project it asks you to ask a college administrator about an initiative that they would like to have at the college. And so we have done several of those. And in fact, the next college project that we're doing is also serving as a service project, which I'll talk about later. And it's a blood drive that we're turning into a recruiting event for our dual credit students at the high schools. So some of these activities like Honors in Action and College Project require leaders. Of course, it takes someone to motivate the group. And so leadership is the second pillar of Phi Theta Kappa. As Ronald Reagan said, the greatest leader is not the one who does great things. He is the one who gets others to do the greatest things. And that's what we usually find in our Honors in Action project because frankly, we start in the summer. And in the summer, many of you are taking a break from school. But these leaders find a group of committed people who are willing to get into the research. They assign people to read articles and books and to report back. And what I found is that, and Phi Theta Kappa kind of encourages this, if I have a student who wants to be a leader, I find a leadership position for that student. We may have to create a vice presidency, but we are willing to do that, to give someone that experience. Now, I'm not going to say that you have to be a leader to have a full experience in Phi Theta Kappa, but I want to tell you a story about 2 of my past vice presidents. And this was the year that we really changed it up. We took Phi Theta Kappa to a 5-star chapter. And we took a trip to our international convention and a whole lot of fun things. But those 2 students were in interviews for their transfer institution, which happened to be Carbondale. And while they didn't necessarily have to be Phi Theta Kappans to get the scholarship, the questions and the interview process asked them to draw upon community college experiences. And because of being a Phi Theta Kappa officer, they had a wealth of information that they could use to answer those questions. So they told me that they fully believe it's the reason why they got that scholarship. And that scholarship was full tuition. So Those are rock stars. And leaders are also needed for our service projects. We believe in giving back. And in a study done of admissions officers in college, and this study was done in 2017, sorry. It was reported in USA Today in September 2017. And what they said is that the average college student graduates with $37,172 in debt. And that when they were looking at who to give scholarships to, so that who could they help avert this college debt, the tipping point with admissions officers, 53% of the time said that it was the degree to which those applicants had done community service. So service separates good leaders. Service also shows a connection to a larger community, and service also shows that you align yourself with the college's mission. As I said earlier, our current service project is a blood drive on April 1st. And last but not least, don't think that we just work all the time. Phi Theta Kappa is about having fun too. We call that the fellowship. The pandemic has shown us that there's a deep need for social connection among students, and COVID stripped us of some of that. I think it's really important to have a group in college. In fact, there was a study done by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. It was reported in Inside Higher Ed in June 2020, and it found that 25.5% of the 18 to 24-year-olds surveyed during June 2020, now remember that was in the height of the pandemic, had seriously considered suicide during the month of June. That breaks my heart. And we can't definitely attribute to the lack of social connection, but there's a definite correlation to the fact that we have stripped people of their belongingness. And we know that that's important. That's important to mental health. So if you're looking at the wellness of a college student, to get that person connected to a group of learners who share their value system is really important. Phi Theta Kappa does just that. It is a club that gives them a place to belong. So today I've told you about the 4 pillars that make Phi Theta Kappa what it is. They are leadership, scholarship, fellowship, and service. If those are things that appeal to you, when you get that invitation, I'm not here to persuade you, but I wanted you to be able to make an informed decision. It's an $80 investment. So you need to decide if that is something that you want to do based on the knowledge that you have from today.